Hello and welcome back to another Star Citizen video. We have day, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I totally lost count. Alright, we have our fifth day and we have another multi-brand day. Alright, we have Kruger Intergalactic, Mirai, and MISC. And I need to do one small little, I won't say fix or update, but just a small little update because we have not say some new information. I did not read enough and the information got buried somewhere, which requires a little bit more digging. So boo for me and boo for the website, all right? Boo for CIG for not putting some of the key information. Okay, welcome back to IAE 2955. Before we begin, like, subscribe, hit the notification button and help this channel grow. And of course, I'm trying to get to 1000 subscribers by the end of the year. So every subscription does help to reach my goal. Of course, if I earn it, if not, let me know down the comment below. And of course, you can thumbs down, right? I'm totally fine with that. Okay, and of course, PSA. Every time we have Star Citizen, there's only one PSA, the most important PSA, and that is you do not need to buy any of the ship with real money. All you need is a starter pack. And because it's IAE 2955, we have some cool referral bonus. Don't forget to use a referral code. I hope you use mine. If not, please use a referral code. Okay, there we go. And last but not least, of course, during the IAE 2955 event, it is a free fly event. That's right, you play the game for free, so try it out. Right? If you enjoy it, then only consider getting a discounted starter pack. That's right. Okay, so let's begin with Kruger Intergalactic. Alright, so we have a new ship under Kruger Intergalactic, and that is the Kruger L22 Alpha Wolf. Oh boy, it is interesting. And of course, this is also built upon an existing ship, and that is the L21 Wolf that just got released again this year. Yeah, I won't say recently, but this year. Now, this ship is interesting and I don't think no. Okay, so this ship is interesting because it has quantum jump, it is sleek, it is nice, because the other few ships on the Kruger in the Galactic lineup, not the Alpha Wolf, which is the P-52 Merlin and the P-72 Archimedes, they are cheaper and they don't feature a quantum jump. They are technically a snub fighter. So having a dedicated ship that you can zip around the verse, it is definitely nice. But at $100 for the L21 Wolf, it is a premium both in-game and of course if you want to open up your wallet, it is a premium ship, okay? Because you're not getting a lot of amenities, but at the same time, it is interesting. Okay, it is definitely interesting. Do note that the weapon is bespoke to the chassis. That means you cannot change, which is a little bit not so great. All right, the Alpha Wolf is $120. The L21 Wolf is $100. So unfortunately, you get more ship with those two price tag. It's a bit hard. You know, like I said, it's a premium ship. Now the question is, how premium is premium? I don't know. All right, because if you were to look at the Origin lineup, this is actually very, very premium. Okay, and the Origin lineup is a luxury ship. Not say luxury, a luxury brand, and they have their fighter versions as well, but not that expensive. So there we go. There we go. All right, so that's that for Kruger Intergalactic. Let's move on to Mirai. So Mirai, we have the Guardian MX for our Warborn daily deal. It is the best pickup as well for those who want to upgrade to more expensive ship. Easy pickup for me. Let's see, 209. Oh, no, I don't think we can pick this up because it's at $290. We cannot chain. Unfortunately, this is a bad deal for us. Yep, because we want, or rather, I want, what do you call this? No, not say I want. All right, so if we were to check the list that I have, because we have the Stinger And the Stinger is, yeah, there we cannot chain to, unless you cannot chain to the Stinger. What am I talking about? Okay, let me change it. So we're gonna grab the Stinger, and the cheapest is $290. We cannot upgrade to the Guardian. So that is one sad deal that we might need to let it, no, we have to let it go because we cannot chain. However, with that being said, if you want to upgrade to some other ship that is not the Stinger, I think it's okay. It's a decent pick. But again, we are building a Perseus and a Carrack at the end of the at the end of the event. Unfortunately, this is a no-go for us. Alright, or rather for me. Now for Guardian MX, I think we will talk a little bit. So let's see. Let's start off with the ship: Fury, Snout Fighter, Fury Alex, Snout Fighter, MX, Snout Fighter. So these three Furies are basically a Snout Fighter, so you need a mothership, unfortunately. Okay, let's go to my go-to selection for PvE. And this ship right now stands at number 1 on the list. Surprising? Not really, because it has all the good stuff. Alright, so we have the base Guardian, $250, and it has size 5 weapon hardpoint. Now, the key thing is not because it has 5 size weapon hardpoint. Partially, yes, but it is very, very agile for a heavy fighter. Yeah, so the Guardian gets a pick, and then if you want a little bit more pew pew, you can grab the Guardian MX. Now, unfortunately, Guardian MX is much more pricier at $290. You could get a little bit more ship with $290. You could get a little bit more ship with the Paladin. Paladin is a multi-crew, unfortunately. So yeah, still, you could get more ship with $290, that's what I'm gonna say. And it is expensive for a PvE combat focused ship in general, especially for a single pilot ship. That is, yeah. That's the reason why I don't put this in the number 1 spot, because of the price tag. And last but not least, we have the Guardian Chi. Now this is $260, extra $10 more than the Guardian. You get a quantum dampener. So that's it. In my opinion, the base Guardian gets a pick, but if you want a little bit more on the PvP side of things, the Guardian Chi is actually a decent pick as well. And the price tag doesn't really break the bank just yet. That's what I want to say. And I just remembered. The main reason why I didn't pick the Guardian MX as number 1 is because if you're going to spend $290, might as well just top up by another $10 and get the best ship in the verse, and that is the F8C Lightning. And of course, I do say you don't want to pay $300 outright. You don't want to pay $290 outright. You want to get the special upgrade offer instead. And that puts the Guardian MX in a decent position. I would say in a decent position. In general, you will not go wrong with any of the Guardian to begin with, because the base Guardian is the number 1 pick for PvE. So the MX can also fulfill the role if you want to go for just pure PvE pew pew. And obviously PvP as well, right? But then again, PvP, the mileage is different because everyone is different in terms of skill level. But the Guardian is awesome. I like it. Next up, we have Pulse. It is a ground vehicle, easy skip in my opinion. And last but not least, we get a special racing chassis from Mirai. Technically, it was under MISC, so it is the Razor. So we have the base version, we have the EX, which is the stealth variant, and the LX, which is the luxury version. In my opinion, the price tag says it all. It is a little bit too expensive. A little bit too expensive. But if I were to pick, right, it would be the pure stealth instead. Because most racing ship, if not all racing ship that you can get in the verse, if you want to repurpose for more combat side of things other than exploration and getting from point A to point B fast, you want to scout. And if you want to scout, you want to be as hard to detect as possible. So there we go. That's it. And like I said, some of my previous videos, stealth is a hard stat, which means it is built into your ship because of the cross section. That is the number one reason. Okay, that's about it. Alright, last but not least, we're gonna go take a look at MISC. A lot of ship is in this position, especially industrial ships. And we kick off with Endeavor, the flagship for MISC. Now I am waiting for this ship to pop up. And one of the big reason is I want to do space farming. And that's it. And do note Endeavor is the king of modularity in terms of paper. So you got lots and lots of module like the biodome, not say super collider. We have crew pods, we have fuel pods, this for long range thing, landing pod if you want to do a pocket carrier thing, med pod, this is technically a hospital, which means this should have a tier 1 bed, research pod, don't know what it does, science pod, don't know what it does, telescope, technically for exploration, again, I don't know how exploration works yet, but there we go. You got the ultimate ship of ships, and look at the price tag. If you want to get the full set, $1,000, which is crazy. For me, I'm gonna play it the most simplest way, but a little bit of heads up. I will just get the base version, and I'll just work my way up for the modules. That's just me. But then again, it is in concept. It is not due to release anytime soon. Bear in mind. Alright, so that's the only reason why I want the Endeavor, king of modularity and space farming. Next up, we're going to move on to more smaller ships. Alright, it is the Expanse. This is a refinery ship. So you have a tag team fleet right now. You can have the Prospector just keep on mining, and then once it's done, it just pass on this pod to the Expanse and do its refinery. And then after that, once you refine, the Expanse technically can use as a logistic ship, right? Fly in between a mining fleet back to base, and there we go. So that's that. Next up, we have Fortune. So this is the next salvager, or rather the second salvager in the verse, right? And it's under MISC at $175. Now the question is, would the Fortune beat the Salvation? That is the question, right? We'll talk more about this in its own video, as in the Salvation video. So would you get a beginner version, or would you get a little bit more upgraded, right? And when you go upgrade, do you want to get the Vulture or the Fortune? Stay tuned for that. Next up, we have the Freelancer chassis. Base version 110, we have the Exploration at $135, we have the Max at $150, and I need to do one correction, not for the Max, but for a ship that I've been talking yesterday on the alien side of things. Stay tuned for that. Alright, we have Max. So we have Max is a cargo variant. We have the Freelancer Misk, and that is the Pew Pew version. So there we go, one of the old workhorse in the verse, and I don't think they have anything else. Yeah, unfortunately there are few other better ship that is competing with the Freelancer series, which is a little shame. But then again, hey, if we have more variety in the verse, the better it is. And I would say probably the Freelancer should be the cheapest workhorse in general, and then other newer, shinier ships should be a little bit more expensive, because in lore, the Freelancer has been in the verse for quite some time. That's it, right? I could be wrong, and then again, everything is subjected to change. Alright. Next up, we have the Hull series. Now, the Hull series is the king of cargo hauling. Yes, that's it. All right, so we have the Hull A at $90, Hull B $140, Hull C $500. Literally, we have a jump. And that is the reason why I was making a little bit of comparison to the Raylan. Yes, and we want, not say we want to do a correction, I just want to re-correct some of the opinions I have, because I did say a little bit where the Raylan should be better than the Freelancer Max, and that is because I'm comparing the price tag $150 to $225. However, I am severely wrong. I should not be comparing the price tag. I should be comparing the ship instead. And the Raylan is a much better ship. Anything below Hull B, but it loses to Hull C. Hull C $500, which is crazy. Hull D, which is a better version at $550, and of course we got the Hull E, which is the capital version of the Hull series. And I just want to do a small little correction. So I can safely say right now, the Raylan is kinda a ship in between the Hull B and the Hull C at the moment, because the cargo for the Raylan is 640. They did update. And that's the part that I'm a little bit annoyed, because they did not write it out on what do you call this? On the stats, which makes me curious. Like, really? They didn't write the stats? Which is bad, because if you are gonna be a cargo hauler, you should be writing the cargo size. There we go. Yeah, that's why I was surprised. I was surprised. I mean, we definitely can see more ship detail here. So if we go a little bit inside, all right, if I were to click in straight, then we get to see 640 SCU. Yep, it's hidden in here. Yep, terrible, terrible, terrible. Okay. Alright, so let's take a look at the Hull series. How much cargo can you carry on the Hull series? Which is crazy a lot. Alright, so if we're gonna take the, come on, scroll up. Yeah, MISC, come on, come on. So if we're gonna take a look at Hull B, because Hull B is gonna be our, not say standard, it's gonna be our entry point for any ship that is gonna be a little bit more expensive, because surprisingly, Hull B can carry more than the Freelancer Max. And Hull B, it's literally a jump from B to C, which is wow. Alright. So for the Hull B, we are carrying 384 SCU. Now from here, if you compare to Raylan, makes sense. Okay, really makes sense for this case. And then if we jump from Hull B all the way to Hull C, Hull C carries 4,608 SCU. That is a huge jump. It's not 2 times, not 3 times, but it's at least 10 to 12 times. No, I want to use 15, because at 300 times 10, then plus. Yeah, 300 times 10, 300. I'm going to calculate way too much, but that's a lot, right? That's a huge shift. And if we go to check Hull C to Hull D, let's see, Hull D is 20,000. Oh, and of course from Hull D to Hull E, guess how much you can carry? 9,000. That is crazy, and it's sold out. Sold out. There we go. There we go. That's for the Hull series. All right. Enough about Hull series. Next up, we're going to take a look at Odyssey. Now, before we go to Odyssey, we want to take a look at another ship first, which is the Prospector. This is another mine. No. Currently, this is the mining ship for solo pilots out there. All right. So that's it. Nothing else I could say about it. We have the Reliant Core. Now this is a alternative ship. This is gonna be style over substance in general. We have 4 variants, which is very nice. We have the combat version. We have the science version, which we do not know what it does. We have this reporting news van, which means it's mainly have a lot of cameras everywhere, mainly for roleplay. Like I said, this is mainly fashion, right? Ship fashion, which is nice, right? The Tana is actually a decent fighter. When you want to do PvE, the Tana is not bad. PvP, yeah, this ship will suffer a little bit. And I think last but not least, oh no, not yet. We still have the Star Lancer. Oh boy, the MISC has lots and lots of things to talk about. Alright, so Starfarer is the only refueling ship in the verse at the moment. We have 2 variants, the Starfarer and Starfarer Gemini. Both of them are exactly the same, except the Gemini is a military spec, which means more armor. And you get a bit more armaments as well, alright? So refueling, simple as that. Next up, we have the #1 spot for the ships, alright? If you want the best Star Citizen experience, the Starlancer Max, which is the cheapest version, $250. If not, you can pick up the Starlancer Tech. Unfortunately, it is at $375. This is a very, very expensive ship, but it is technically a mini Polaris in a way. No torpedoes, sadly. So there we go, because Starlancer Attack has everything you need for a multi-crew. It has medical bay, it has a snub fighter bay, or not really snub fighter bay, it has a fury bay, and it has cargo bay that you can fit a vehicle, which is Ursa or smaller, which is fantastic. So there we go. And the experience for the Starlancer Attack is right now the best experience if you want to just enjoy the verse with your friends, and it can do everything, right? From pew pew to whatever you want to do. Okay, so that's that. And we're gonna end with the Odyssey. Now, the Odyssey is an interesting ship, and it is gonna be an exploration ship. Now, the question is exploration. It all boils down back to the question, what makes an exploration ship an exploration ship? Is it because of its scanning suite? Or is it because of its, what do you call this, independence? Because the Odyssey technically is much better than the Carrack. It has a built-in mining module. That means you don't really need to search for fuel or resources in the verse. Now, the question is, do you mine fuel in the verse, or how do you do it, right? So that's also another question. And next part is, can I use the mining for just pure profit? Like, can I use this as a mining ship? Also another question. And next up, I think even though you strip down the mining modules and the refining modules, the hangar bay is very, very attractive for a lot of players out there to want to make it to a pocket carrier or a mobile base. Looking at the hangar bay, it can fit in a Saber. That means the hangar bay is literally already better than the Carrack. It is a Polaris level in terms of hangar bay, which is great. And if it's deep enough, you might be able to fit a dedicated salvaging ship or a mining ship. So again, what makes an exploration ship an exploration ship? In my opinion, this is kind of a self-sufficient ship out there. And I think you also, if you can fit a dedicated explorer ship, smaller explorer ship, I think this is a very, very win ship in general. Yeah. So the ball is on Carrack's court right now. The Carrack really needs to be the ultimate scanning, how would say, the ultimate exploration scanning ship. On paper, it's meant to be that way. And wow. And that's the problem right now, because if I don't want the Carrack, no, I want the Odyssey, because I want a self-sufficient ship. I just want to spend in the verse without docking. That is one of my goal, and the Odyssey does fulfill the role. But at the same time, I love the Carrack. The Carrack has been, it still is my #1 exploration ship. It is the ship for me to get into larger ships. So I kind of don't want to abandon the Carrack. But I need to make a decision, because I cannot own all of them. I would like to, but I need to figure out which ship do I want to own at the end of the day. Alright, so that's it. Unfortunately, there's lots and lots of ship in today's video, so this video is a little bit longer than what I like to. And I'm gonna close with this. You do not need to buy any of this ship with real money. All of them are obtainable in game. And with that, that is all I have for you for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and help this channel grow. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I would see you in the verse. And fly prosperous. That's one small little thing I can put in right now because Nix is more. Yes, yes, fly prosperous for now. All right, we need to do something with prospecting because industrial mining Nix. Yeah, see ya, my friends.